Integrated Rural Development Program. Integrated Rural Development Program. The concept of Integrated Rural Development Program (IRDP) was first proposed and started in 1976-77 with the intention to end the multiplicity of programs of development through multiple agencies. It has the unfolded field instead of the multi-purpose approach of the community development program. It is not a technique but a plan of detailed action for development of the rural area. It was introduced in India on an expanded scale in 1978-79 in 23 blogs, 2300 blogs. In 1979-18, another 300 blogs were added to the program. But from to October 1980, example, after the launching of the sixth five-year plan, the program was extended to all the blocks of the country under the revised 20-point program. In each block, 600 families were to be covered under the program, and out of these, 400 were to be covered through agriculture and related activities, 100 families through rural industries, and thereof 100 family enter rural services, business enterprises, etc. The allocation of fund per block was Rs 35 lakhs, and this was to be equally shared between the center and state government. In addition to this provision was to mobilize institutional finances for investment under the program. IRDP is a major self-employment program for poverty alleviation launched in 1978 to 79. Under this scheme, both wage employment and self-employment are provided to the people below the poverty line. This is a centrally sponsored scheme founded on 50-50 basis by the center and the state. It is stipulated that at least 50% of the assisted families should belong to scheduled caste and scheduled tribe categories. It is also required that at least 40% of those assisted should be women under this program. Any person who are below poverty line can avail the subsidy under the IRDP schemes. The target group comprises of small and marginal farmers, tenants and sharecroppers, landless laborers, and rural artisans. Members of scheduled caste and tribal community are also in the target group as they have been suffered from economic and social handicaps. Objectives IRDP is to provide suitable income generating assistance through a mix of subsidy and credit to below poverty line BPL family with a view to bring them above the poverty line. It aims generally at the attainment of the following three objectives. First, economic development, which ensure overcoming the vicious circle of poverty, a major hindrance to social security and stability. This includes raising productivity of the rural people and thus increasing their income, ensuring equitable distribution of income and participation in economic activity and productive employment by all sectors. Properly utilizing local resources, including the management of land, improving basic social and economical infrastructure, and encourage popular participation in decision making by all the sectors of all the community. Social development, which aim at effecting desired social change at a speed that commensurate with the development of material resources. Educational and cultural development, which aim at equipping the rural population with the means to attain the goal of economic and social development. Launch of IRDP. Launch or IRDP. The implementation of the program was on October 2nd, 1980 and was carried out by a special administrative set up in each district referred to as District Rural Development Agency DRDA. It was launched in phase year coverage. First 1976 20 selected district, second 98 79 2300 blocks, third 2nd October 1980 all over India. Approach to rural development under IRDP. While increasing agricultural productivity and providing infrastructure had been and would remain the major goal, the approach attempts to be more egalitarian, encompassing all the narrow barrier and embracing continuous and vigorous national activity commensurate with the magnitude of the problem itself. In brief, the overall concern is one community orientation, minimum state intervention, mass participation, self-reliance, specialization and pooling of local resources and service to people. The approach of the program is based on decentralized micro-level planning at the block level. It is to bring about integration in the area approach and the beneficially approaches of the various rural development schemes currently in operation to achieve the objective of rural development in terms of production and full employment. Philosophy behind the IRDP program. Philosophy behind the IRDP program. A large body of economy experts have shown in their study that economic growth may be able to rise per capita income in developing country, but it may not be accompanied by a reduction of poverty as well as elimination of unemployment and underemployment. The percolation of benefit of economic growth to backyard area and the poor people has not taken place. The remedy this situation was through necessary that a direct attack on poverty should be made. This necessitated programs for alleviating rural poverty by endowing the poor with productive assisted or skill to so that they can employ themselves useful to earn greater income and thus cross the poverty line. To achieve this objective, Draft 6 Plan 1978 to 1983 revised, visualized an integrated program of rural development within which a specially directed program for the rural poor was conceived. Program included in IRDP Employment Guarantee Scheme, Food for Work Program, FWP, Small Farmer Development Agency, SFDA, Marginal Farmer and Agricultural Labor, MFAL, Drought Prone Area Program, DPAP, Desert Development Program, DDP, Command Area Development Program, CADP, etc. Training of rural youth for self-employment, TRISEM. TRISEM was launched as a centrally sponsored scheme on 5th of August 1979. The objective is to train the rural youth in the age group of 18 to 35 years in acquiring necessary skill and technology to take up self-employment in agriculture and allied activities including animal husbandry, industry, services and business. Emphasis is also laid on systemic marketing as well as exploring possibility of setting up group of the manufacture or assembly of non-traditional items for which there is good demands. The beneficiaries of TRISEM are assisted by IRDP after the training is completed. This scheme helps not only in improving the skill of a large number of youth but Also, in their self-employment, a major chunk of the beneficiaries belong to SC or ST and women as per the provision of the scheme. Development of women and children in rural area DWCRA. This program envisages formation of group of 10 to 50 rural women and each group is involved in carrying out income generating activity. Each group is given a revolving fund of Rs 50,000 which is shared equally by the central, state and UNICEF. This fund is later enhanced up to 25 and the UNICEF also bears the expenditure on the staff salary for a period of 6 years which is fully reimbursed. स्वर्ण जयंती ग्राम स्वरोजगार योजना. स्वर्ण जयंती ग्राम स्वरोजगार योजना. On 1 April 1999, the IRDP and allied program including the Million Wells Scheme MWS were merged into a single program known as Swarna Jayanti Gram Swarojgar Yojana SGYS. The SGYS is conceived as a holistic program for micro enterprise development in rural area with emphasis on organizing the rural poor into self-help group for capacity building, planning of activity, infrastructure support, technology credit and marketing linkage. It seeks to promote a network of agencies, namely the District Rural Development Agency DRDAS, Line Department of State Government, banks, NGOs and Panchayati Raj Institution PRIS for implementation of the program. The SGSY recognized the need to focus on key activity and the importance of activity cluster. The program has inbuilt safeguard for the weaker sections. It instead that 50% of the self-help group must be formed exclusively by women and that 50% of the benefits should follow the SC and ST. It is the merger of the following scheme: IRDP Integrated Rural Development Program, DWCRA Development of Women and Children in Rural Area, TRYSEM Training of Rural Youth for Self-Employment, SITRA Supply of Improved Technical Kit to Rural Area, GKY Ganga Kalyan Yojana, MWS Million Wells Scheme. Credit 75-25 Central State. To establish large number of micro enterprises in rural area. Target group: person assisted under this program will be known as Saurojgaris, not beneficiaries in as in IRDP. Group is self-help group SHG. Principle of SGSY: every family assisted by the scheme will be brought above the poverty line in 3 years and the program aims at creating substantial additional income for rural poor. General action: it is proposed to cover 30% of rural poor in each book in 5 years. SGSY is a holistic program of micro enterprises covering all the aspects of self-employment wise organization of rural poor into SHG and their capacity buildings, planning of activity cluster, infrastructure build up, technology credit and marketing. SGSY lay emphasis on activity cluster based on the resources, occupational skill of the people and availability of market. Selection of key activity will be with the approval of Panchayat Samiti at the block level and the district rural development agency or Jila Parishad at the district level. Major share of SGSY assisted will be in activity cluster to enable extension of appropriate facilities. Agriculture Technology Management Agency. Agricultural Technology Management Agency ATMA is a society of key stakeholders involved in agriculture activity for sustainable agriculture development in the district. The registered office of the ATMA is located at District Collectorate premises. It is a focal point for integrating research and extension activity and decentralizing day-to-day management of the public agriculture technology system ATS. It is a registered society responsible for technology dissemination at the district level. As a society, it receives and expend project fund, enter into contract and agreements, and maintain revolving accounts that can be used to collect fees and thereby recovering operating costs. The ATMA at district level is responsible for all the technology dissemination activity at the district level. It has linkage with all the line departments, research organization, non-government organization and agencies associated with agriculture development in the district, research and extension unit within the project district such as ZRS or substations, KVK and the key line departments of agriculture, animal husbandry, horticulture and fisheries etc. are constituent members of ATMA. Each research extension RE unit written it is institutional identity and affiliations but programs and procedure concerning district-wise RE activities are determined by ATMA governing board and implemented by its management committee MC. M and objectives. M and objectives to identify location specific need for farming community for farming system based agriculture development, to set up priority for sustainable agriculture development with a farming system approach, to draw plan for production based system activity to be undertaken by farmers or ultimate user, to execute plan through line department training institution, NGOs, farmers organization and allied institutions, to coordinate effort being made by various line department, NGO, farmer organization and allied institute to strengthen research extension farmer linkage in the district and to promote collaboration and coordination between various state funds technical departments, to facilitate the empowerment of farmers or producers through assistance for mobilization organization into association cooperative etc for their increased participation in planning, marketing, technology dissemination and agro processing etc, to facilitate market intervention for value addition to farm produce. Function function to attain the objective and aim, the ATMA may take step to ensure that problem constraint and need to the farming system based agriculture development are identified and diagnosed periodically, draw a plan for an integrated research extension linkage approach for farming system based agriculture development, ensure that line department or institution draw up integrated development plan based upon resources available with them and incremental or supplementary resources mobilized by the ATMA. Forage or development systemic linkage between national or state or district institution of excellence in the field of agriculture and marketing. Ensure capacity building of manpower engaged in all agricultural development and strengthen infrastructure support for the benefit of the farmer or producer. Create suitable machines to ensure location specific adaptive indigenous knowledge based research. Ensure adequate linkage and frequent interaction between scientists, extension functionaries, and technicians and farmers in order to prepare an integrated plan to effectuate their linkage, support each other, better understanding and appreciation of their problems, mean adopted to sort out problem and plan etc. and to develop a machine of feedback. Ensure capacity building of the ultimate user, the farmers in terms of physical, financial and skill resources based by way of adequate financial support channelized through credit institution, private investment and training for skill upgradation. Facilitate farmers organization to take leads role on mobilizing support service and resources. Facilitate private investment for infrastructure development. Private institutions have to take lead in the delivery of goods and services to ultimate users farmer. Facilitate the processing and marketing activities of the agricultural, livestock, dairy, poultry, silk and allied produce of the farmer with the help of private sector institutions. Receive and expand project fund, maintain revolving accounts, enter into contract and agreements, receive donations and provide services and deliver goods to beneficiaries, accept grant of money, security of property of any kind and undertake and accept the management of any endowment, trust, funds or donation not inconsistent with the objective of the ATMA on such term and condition as may be fitted with the objective of the ATMA and be prescribed by the government of India from time to time. Generate resources in order to bring financial sustainability through charging for selected service rendered to beneficiary by ATMA. Create administrative, technical, ministerial and other posts in the ATMA and make appointment thereto in accordance with the rule and regulation of the state government. Make rule and by law for the conduct of the affair of the ATMA and add to amend, vary or rescind them from time to time. Do all such other lawful acts and things either alone or in conjunction with other organization and person as the ATMA may consider necessary, incidental or conducive to the attainment of the above objectives. To do all such lawful act and things whether incident to objective in force of not as may be requisite in order to furtherance of the objective of the ATMA, sale, lease, exchange and otherwise transfer of any portion and the properties of the society ATMA. Do all other such things as may be considered by the society ATMA and may be incidental or conducive to the attainment of its objective. Other rural development program, other rural development program, other rural development program, rural employment, unemployment as well as underemployment kill the skill and its effect is more perceptible in rural area compared to urban localities, providing additional employment opportunity in rural area invariably is an inbuilt component of all the rural development program. The government of India has taken up various employment generation schemes to alleviate poverty in rural area. These schemes include rural manpower program, crash scheme of rural employment, pilot intensive rural employment program, food for work program, National Rural Employment Program (NREP), and Rural Landless Employment Guarantee Program (RLEGP). In April 1989, the two ongoing employment programs RLEGP and NREP were merged into a single rural employment program and is named as Jawar Rojgar Yojana, which was later restructured and streamlined and renamed as Jawar Gram Samriddhi Yojana JGSY. The Yojana was launched on April 1999 with a twofold objective of creating village infrastructure including durable assets and generation of supplementary employment for the unemployment poor in the rural area. Funds are allocated to the state on the basis of incidence of poverty within the state. The allocation is done on the basis of ST rural population. The village panchayat are empowered to choose the work on the basis of felt need of the people. However, preference is given to work which create economically productive assets. DRDA or Jila Parishad will release the fund to village panchayat for implementation of the project at village level. Employment Assurance Scheme EAS. This scheme come into operation on 2nd October 1993 and it is being implemented in all the rural blocks of the country. The main objective of the scheme is to provide assured employment of 100 days of unskilled manual work to the rural poor who are in need for it. The scheme is open to all men and women in the age group of 18 to 16 years in rural area. The expenditure under the scheme is shared by center and state in the proportion of 75-25 respectively. The center's assistant is released directly to the DRDA or Jila Parishad and the district collectors, and the deputy commissioner is the implementing authority of the scheme. Drought prone area program DPAP. The drought prone area program was started in 1973 with a view to minimize the adverse effect of drought on production of crop and livestock and productivity of land, water and human resources through integrated development of the natural resources. The other objective included conservation and development of natural resources and ultimately to improve the socio-economic condition of the resources poor and disadvantaged section of the society. The program is under implementation in 946 block of 1469 district in 30 states. The funds of the program are shared by the center and the concerned state on 50-50 basis. Desert Development Program DDP. The DDP was started in the year 1977-78 in the hot desert of Rajasthan, Gujarat and Haryana and the cold desert of Jammu and Kashmir and Himachal Pradesh. It aimed at capacity buildings and empowerment of village community. Since 1995-1960, a new approach was adopted based on watershed development, and under this program a large area of land was brought under afforestation and pasture development. The Integrated Wasteland Development Program. The Integrated Wasteland Development Program IWDP. The program was started in the year 1989-90. This is being implemented from 1st April 1995 onwards on watershed basis under watershed development. The scheme is being implemented through ICAR, State Agriculture University, government and private institutions having adequate infrastructure facility. This project is being implemented in 25 states of India covering an area of 2.96 lakh hectares by May 2000. Technology Development Extension and Training Scheme. Technology Development Extension and Training Scheme TDET. This scheme was launched in 1993-94 to develop suitable technology for the reclamation of wasteland for sustained production of food, fuel, wood, fodder, etc. It is being implemented by ICAR, SAU, DRDAS and government institutions having adequate institution framework and organization backup. Council for Advancement of People's Action in Rural Technology. Council for Advancement of People's Action in Rural Technology CAPART. CAPART is a registered society and operating from September 1986 with New Delhi as its headquarters. It aims at encouraging, promoting, and assisting voluntary action for enhancement of rural prosperity by providing financial assistance to voluntary organizations. It is formed by merging two autonomous body People Action for Development India PADI and Council for Advancement of Rural Technology CART. The scheme covered by CAPART for rendering financial assistance include DWCRA, IRDP, Organization of Beneficiaries of Anti-Poverty Program, Jawar Rozgar Yojana and Advancement of Rural Technology Scheme. CAPART has recently established 9 regional committees at Ahmedabad, Bhubaneswar, Guwahati, Hyderabad, Jaipur, Patna, Chandigarh, Dharwad and Lucknow, which are empowered to consider, sanction and monitor projects up to an outlay of Rs 10 lakhs. National Agriculture Extension Project. National Agriculture Extension Project NAEP. It was launched in 1983. The objective of NAEP was to bridge the gap between research and extension system so that the transfer of technology can take place at a much faster rate resulting in higher production. National Agriculture Development Program NADP and Rashtriya Krishi Vikas Yojana RKYV. Concerned by the slow growth in the agriculture and allied sector, the National Development Council (NDC) resolved in 2007 that a special additional central assistance scheme RKVY be launched. The NDC resolved that agriculture development strategy must be reoriented to meet the need of farmers and called upon the central and state government to involve a strategy to rejuvenate agriculture. The NDC reaffirmed its commitment to achieve 4% annual growth in the agriculture sector during the 11th plan. Basic feature of the RKVY. Basic feature of the RKVY. The RKVY aims at achieving 4% annual growth in the agriculture sector during the 11th plan period by ensuring a holistic development of agriculture and allied sector. The main objective of the scheme are to incentivize the state so as to increase public investment in agriculture and allied sector, provide flexibility and autonomy to state in the process of planning and executing agriculture and allied sector scheme, ensure the preparation of agriculture plan of the district and the state based on agroclimate condition, availability of technology and natural resources, ensure that the local needs or crop and priorities are better reflected in the agriculture plan of the state, achieve the goal of reducing the yield gap in important crop through focus intervention, maximize return to the farmer in agriculture and allied sector, bring about quantifiable changes in the production and productivity of various components of agriculture and allied sector by addressing them in a holistic manner. These guidelines are applicable to all the state and union territories that fulfill the eligibility conditions. SREP Strategic Research and Extension Plan. SREP Strategic Research and Extension Plan. SREP Strategic Research and Extension Plan. It is the process of finding the best scenario for agriculture development and setting the best path to reach that destination by rigorous analysis and choice about goal, opportunity and threat, strength and weakness with respect to agriculture development in a district. Goals: what is intended to be accomplished, opportunity and threat, what is needed and feasible, strength and weakness, what is the capability of doing things. SREP document provided the detail of problems and technological needs for agriculture development in a district basis. Aim of SREP in to link the research and extension system with the farmers. It is a bottom-up approach exercise carried out at the district level to identify the technological and training need of the farmers. It speaks about extension and research priorities to be undertaken by the extension and research system based on the grassroots analysis carried out by the SREP team. It is a comprehensive document prepared for the purpose of understanding the district agriculture scenario and to undertake need-based research and extension program. While the farmer require a wider range of support to address the emerging challenges, extension mainly functions as an agency for technology dissemination. Market extension has been a recent addition, but it is understood and implemented mostly as provision of output price information in various markets, and this is highly inadequate to address the challenges in marketing. Other extension support facilities created in the country include Farmer Training Center at the district level, SAMETIs, State Agriculture Management Extension and Training Institute at the state level, EEI, Extension Education Institute at the region level, and MANAGE, National Institute of Agriculture and Extension Management at the national level. First line extension program for ICAR. First line extension program of ICAR. The Indian Council of Agricultural Research, ICAR, is the apex body in India which is entrusted with the responsibility of providing guidelines and leadership in agricultural research, education and extension. The mandate included promotion of transfer of technology programs. A post of Deputy Director General Agriculture Extension is created at ICAR, who is responsible for assessment, refinement and transfer of agriculture technology, which included crop, livestock and fisheries. The movement of ICR in extension started with the formulation and implementation of several frontline extension programs such as National Demonstration 1965, Operation Research Project 1972, Krishi Vigyan Kendra 1977, Lab to Land Program 1979, Frontline Demonstration and Technology Assessment and Refinement TAR, Institution Village Linkage Program IVLP, National Agriculture Technology Project NATP, Agriculture Technology Management Agency ATMA, National Agricultural Innovation Project NAIP, and Horticulture Mission. The frontline extension programs of ICR were designed to organize the demonstration by scientists to show the production potentiality of modern agriculture technology, to identify its location specificity in the farmer's field. National Demonstration Project NDP National Demonstration Project (NDP). National Demonstration Project (NDP) was implemented during the year 1965 to demonstrate the production potentiality of technology packages on major crop to fully exploit these demonstration for the purpose of training the farmers and extension workers. Further, it provided the scientist feedback of the problem faced by the farmer with respect to adoption of new technology. कृषि विज्ञान केंद्र के कृषि विज्ञान केंद्र KVK. The ICAR has established KVK in the country in the year 1976-77 with an objective of imparting learning through work experience. It also aims at imparting training to extension workers who are already employed and to practicing farmers and fishermen who wish to be self-employed. Trainers Training Center (TTC). Trainers Training Center (TTC). The ICAR has established trainers training center in different parts of the country to provide specialized training to the teacher of the KVK and also to those in service, teacher and staff who are involved in vocational agriculture in different institutions. The objective of TTC are to improve training to the teacher of KVK in agriculture technology as well as in pedagogy, to train teachers who are likely to be engaged in teaching in agriculture at high school level, to train the trainers of Gram Sevika or Gram Sevak extension training centers of the region, to organize vocational training program in agricultural technology and home economic. There are ITDCs functioning in the country to provide technical support and update the skill of the staff of KVK and subject matter specialists in their areas of specialization as well as latest training methodology. Frontline demonstration FLD. Frontline demonstration FLD. Seeing is believing is the main principle behind the demonstration. Earlier demonstration were being organized in the research stations or farms which come under criticism because the research farm situation cannot be compared to the farmers field. The criticism could be avoided by conducting demonstration on farmer field which automatically provided opportunity for the researcher, extension person and the farmer to evaluate the technologies. With this intention, the ICR laid emphasis on frontline demonstration with the following objective. They demonstrate the newly realized production technology on the farmers field to exploit their maximum potential in a given farming system, to prepare technical leadership in the village by imparting desired training, and to organize the need-based training programs for subject matter specialists and farmers after identification of problems. About 54,000 frontline demonstrations were organized to demonstrate the production potential of newly realized production technology in 2009. Operation Research Project ORP. Operational Research Project ORP. Operational Research Project ORP was initiated in 1975 to identify technological as well as socio-economic constraint and to formulate and implement a combination of technology module on area or watershed or target group basis. The performance of the new technology is to be tested on farmers field at operation level under the existing resources and socio-economic and cultural conditions to address the common agricultural problem affecting the existing farm production system on community basis. Lab to Land Program LLP. Lab to Land Program LLP. Lab to Land Program LLP was implemented in 1979 by ICAR as a part of its Golden Jubilee celebration. The aim of the program is to assist the selected farm family for improving their farming system and thereby generating more employment and income. The basis idea is to bring the scientists and farmers into a common forum and to introduce appropriate technology facilitating the diversification of labor use and creating supplementary source of income in the field of agriculture and allied enterprises. Directorate of Research on Women in Agriculture. Directorate of Research on Women in Agriculture. Realizing the role of women in agriculture and allied activities, the ICAR has established a Directorate of Research for Women in Agriculture in 1996. The important objective of the centers are acting as a repository of information relevant to women in agriculture, strengthening the use of gender analysis in research and technology development to ensure that women as well as men agricultural enterprises and operations are fully considered for defining research program and setting priorities. Collaborating in women specific research, education and technology assessment and refinement with relevant national and international organizations. Conducting training and developing training modules and manual for sensitizing gender related issue in research and program policy development. Developing and testing women specific models and manual for technology transfer, technology assessment and refinement TAR. Technology assessment and refinement TAR institution village linkage program IVLP. In 1995, the ICR launched his innovation program, and the objective are to introduce technological intervention with emphasis on stability and sustainability along with productivity of small farm production system. Introduce and integrated the appropriate technology to sustain technological intervention and their integration to maintain productivity and profitability, taking environmental issue on into consideration in a comparatively well-defined farm production system. Introduce and integrated the appropriate technology to increase the agricultural productivity with marketable surplus in commercial on and off farm production system. Facilitate adoption of appropriate post harvest technology of conservation and or farm value addition of agricultural products by products and vast for greater economic dividends and national priorities. Facilitate adoption of appropriate technology for removal of drug-carry, increase efficiency and high income of farm women. Monitor socio-economic impact of the technological intervention for different farm production system. Identify extra pollution domain for new technology or technology module based on environmental characterization at major and mega level. National Agriculture Technology Project NATP. National Agriculture Technology Project NATP. The National Agricultural Technology Project was launched by the India Council of Agriculture Research ICR on June 13, 1998 with the support of the World Bank to strengthen and complement the existing resources and to augment the output of the National Agriculture Research System NARS. The NATP implemented its objective through strategic for organization and management reforms and research. The research comprised various modes of objective based funding, namely Teams of Excellence TOE, Mission Mode Production System Research PSR, Institution Village Linkage Program IVLP, and Competitive Grant Program CGP. Another important component which was founded under NATP was Innovation in Technology Dissemination ITD. Project under ITD were executed by the Department of Agriculture and Cooperation DAG, Government of India and the ICAR. Protection System Research PSR. Mode of funding divided agroeconomic zone into 5 sub-modes, namely rain-fed, irrigated, arid, coastal, and hill mountain. All 5 modes were recognized as respective agroecosystem directorate and were empowered to source funds and administer and monitor the progress of the project. NATP glimpses. NATP was the world's biggest World Bank assisted agriculture project worth Rs 992 crore developed and executed by NARS. NATP lifespan was 7 years from 1998 to 2005. NATP was the first project in NARS to shift the focus from discipline oriented research to protection system research. NATP was the first project in NARS to involve competitive fundings and having pluralistic approach to involve and fund partners from outside NARS. NATP successfully completed a whopping total of 852 projects. National Agricultural Innovation Project NAIP. The National Agricultural Innovation Project was launched in the year 2017 by ICAR. The overall objective of NAIP is to facilitate the accelerated and sustainable transformation of Indian agriculture in support of poverty alleviation and income generation through collaborative development and application of agriculture innovation by the public organization in partnership with farmer group, the private sector and other stakeholders. The specific objectives are to do build the critical capacity of the ICR as a catalyzing agent for management of change of the Indian NARS, promote production to consumption system research in priority area or themes to enhance productivity, nutrition, profitability, income and employment, improve livelihood, security of rural people living in selected disadvantaged region through innovation systems led by technology and encompassing the wider process of social and economic changes covering all stakeholders and build capacity and undertake base and strategic research in strategic area to meet technology development challenge in immediate and predictable future. ICR Institute ICR Institute ICR Institute deems universities, National Research Center, National Bureau and Directorate and Project Directorate deems University for Indian Agriculture Research Institute IARI New Delhi, National Dairy Research Institute NDRI Karnal, Indian Veterinary Research Institute IVRI Jandnagar, Central Institute of Fisheries Education CIFE Mumbai, Institution 45 National Academy of Agriculture Research Management Hyderabad, Central Agriculture Research Institute Port Blair, Central Sheep and Wool Research Institute Avikanagar Rajasthan, Central Institute of Research on Goat Makdum, Central Institute for Research on Buffalo Hisar, National Institute of Animal Nutrition and Physiology Bangalore, National Institute of Animal Genetics Karnal, Central Avian Research Institute Ijatnagar, Indian Grassland and Fodder Research Institute Jhansi, National Research Center 70, National Research Center on Camel Bikaner, National Research Center on Equine Hisar, National Research Center on Meat Hyderabad, National Research Center on Pig Guwahati, National Research Center on Yag West Kemang, National Research Center on Mithun, Merji Phema, Nagaland, National Center of Agri Economic and Policy Research, New Delhi, National Bureau 6, National Bureau of Animal Genetic Research, Kanal, Director and Project Direct, Directorates and Project Directorates 25. Project Director on Food and Mouth Disease, Mukteswar. Project Director of Farming System Research, Modipuram. Project Director on Cattle, Meerut. Project Director on Poultry, Hyderabad. Project Director on Animal Disease Monitoring and Surveillance, Hebbal, Bangalore. Directorate of Research of Women in Agriculture, Bhubaneswar. Abrasion Expansion, AICRP, All India Coordinated Research Project, AIPDP, All India Poultry Development Program, Amul, Anand Milk Union Limited, CAD, Command Area Development, CARI, Central Avian Research Institute, CDD, Cattle and Dairy Development, CCG, Central Council of Gosamvardhana, CLRI, Central Leather Research Institute, CSWRI, Central Sheep and Wool Research Institute, DANIDA, Danish International Development Agency, DDA, Desert Development Agency, DIPA, Dairy Herd Improvement Program Action, DPAP, Drought Prone Area Program, DRDA, District Rural Development Agency, DWCRA, Development of Women and Children in Rural Area, EEC, European Economic Community, FDP, Food Development Program, FTC, Farmer Training Center, GATT, General Agreement on Trade and Traffic, HADP, Hill Area Development Program, IAAP, Intensive Agriculture Area Program, IADP, Intensive Agriculture District Program, IAP, Intensive Agriculture Program, ICA, International Cooperative Alliance, ICAR, Indian Council of Agriculture Research, ICDP, Intensive Cattle Development Project, IDC, Indian Dairy Corporation, IGFRI, Indian Grassland Fodder Research Institute, IPDP, Intensive Poultry Development Project, IRDP, Integrated Rural Development Program, ITD, Integrated Poultry Development Program, IVLP, Institutional Village Linkage Program, IVRI, Indian Veterinary Research Institute, KVK, कृषि विज्ञान केंद्र, KVS, Key Village Scheme, LLP, Lab to Land Program, MFAL, Marginal Farmer and Agricultural Labor Program, MMPO, Milk and Milk Production Order, NABARD, NABARD, National Bank for Agriculture and Rural Development, NAFED, National Agriculture Federation for Export Development, NATP, National Agriculture Technology Project, NCA, National Commission for Agriculture, NCDC, National Cooperative Development Corporation, NCDFI, National Cooperative Dairy Federation of India, NDDB, National Dairy Development Board, NDRI, National Dairy Research Institute, NDS, National Demonstration Scheme, NECC, National Egg Coordination Committee, NGO, Non-Government Organization, NIRD, National Institute of Rural Development, NMG, National Milk Grid, NMH, National Milk Herd, NWDPRA, National Watershed Development Program Rural Area, ONBS, Open Nucleus Breeding System, OF, Operational Fluid, OFR, On Farmer Research, PD, Poultry Development, PEO, Program Evaluation Organization, PD Piggery Development, RSPPTC Random Sample Poultry Performance Testing Center, HD Civ Development, SFDA Small Farmer Development Agency, SGSY स्वर्ण जयंती ग्राम स्वरोजगार योजना, SLBP स्पेशल लाइव स्टॉक ब्रीडिंग प्रोग्राम, TCM टोटल कॉस्ट मैनेजमेंट, TM टेक्नोलॉजी मिशन, TOT ट्रांसफर ऑफ टेक्नोलॉजी, ट्राइसेम ट्रेनिंग ऑफ रूरल यूथ फॉर सेल्फ एम्प्लॉयमेंट, TTC ट्रेनर ट्रेनिंग सेंटर, WFP वर्ल्ड फूड प्रोग्राम, WTO वर्ल्ड ट्रेड ऑर्गेनाइजेशन, WVDP. Thank you.